The movie The New World, directed by Terrence Malick, is unlike a lot of the other movies that I've seen. I'm an avid comedy and romance watcher, so this was very different than a lot of the movies that I've seen in my life, but I really enjoyed it and I thought it was really beautiful. Some of the main things that I enjoyed the most were the storytelling and the plot, the visual and the cinematic elements that were displayed, and the themes and messages that were portrayed in the whole movie. With the storytelling and plot, I thought it was really cool how it didn't follow like a linear plot line, and it was more short, fragmented scenes, which honestly, I took it as it showing a lot of memories, because I think this movie has been passed on for a long time, and it has the whole controversy. The Pocahontas story has the whole controversy of John Smith's accounts versus what actually happened. So I think showing it as like fragmented memories really plays into that, because we really don't know what happened, and a lot of it has been misconstrued and taken into like other people's thoughts, and I thought the way that they filmed it was really cool. Another big part that I took away with the storytelling was how they did a lot of showing rather than telling, which I think was really interesting. So a lot of the times when like big things were happening, they weren't like saying like, oh, the English are coming to see the New World. They showed us them arriving on the boat and like didn't really tell us straight out, which I think is really good for movies, because a lot of the time movies rely on dialogue, and this movie did not rely on dialogue at all. It had a lot of voiceovers rather than dialogue, and a lot of the showing rather than telling. I also think, going off of that, a lot of the conflicts that they had within the movie were just misunderstandings rather than like big like war moments, which I think is really telling to the human life, because I think a lot of conflicts that people have in their day-to-day lives are really misunderstandings, and they're not like big fights and like big wars. So I thought that was really interesting. One of the biggest things that I appreciated in this movie was the visual arts and the cinematography. The cinematographer was Emmanuel Lubezki, and he used a lot of natural light and like landscapes, and it honestly, watching it, it felt like the nature and the environment was like a character in the story, which I thought was really cool and played a big part of the movie. And it showed all of the like characters going through all of the points of the nature that you're seeing, so like through the water and like through the forests, and I thought it created a really like immersive experience, and like it was really poetic, which I thought was really nice to watch. And then some of the themes and messages that I thought were really present were like the cultural collisions, so like the fight for land and what belongs to people versus people taking it over. And then I think another theme was identity, and like Pocahontas's transformation reflected a big identity shift, and how her, like, she's had this identity her whole life, and now she has a new identity and like is married to a new man. And going off of that, another big thing was love, a big theme, because it showed Pocahontas's journey with John Smith and how their love was portrayed through like a lot of like, going off of the short fragmented memories, it was a lot of like short moments, and like showing their love through like small little things like learning languages and learning each other's language and things like that. So I think love, and then her love with John Rolfe before she died, was a big thing. And I also think the point of view that Malick took was the admiration for nature and the sadness at its disruption, because it showed like a lot of the building of the new city there, and like breaking down a lot of the nature that's there, which I think was really sad. And so yeah, I think overall this movie was a really good movie, and it was like I said, different than a lot of the movies I've seen, but I really enjoyed it and I thought it was really beautiful to watch and I thought it was really interesting. So